What's up, guys? Welcome to our show. Today we discuss about affiliate marketing or how you can run your affiliate site to get results. I'm so excited to discuss this topic with Marcelo. How are you?
Good. How are you, Anatoly?
I'm doing great. Sunny day. So I always set up positive mindset when I wake up. So it helps me to go ahead, to feel good. And before we start, I wanna thank you our sponsor, Serenkin, a top-related all-in-one SEO platform. I like Serenkin for their very accurate rank tracker tool, which shows you daily rankings for your website in 5 search engines for any location, device, or language. You can monitor Google Maps results and 35 SERP features for every keyword and much more. Just Google Serenkin Rank Tracker and explore 40 days of the software for free. So, before we start, Marcela, tell about your experience, background, and why you decided to share with us about affiliate marketing.
Yeah, well, it all started out with Google. I got involved in Google way back in the 2000s on the CPC, on the advertising side of it. And over time, when Google became like basically the central search engine and eating up everybody else, it became obvious that whenever like nobody these days, nobody moves a finger without doing a Google search. Before you're going to spend a penny on anything, people are going to do a search, right? That's a way of life. Like basically, it's the gatekeeper for any purchase, really. Even if you buy something on Amazon, people will do a Google search first just to check it out. So what happens is with affiliate marketing, you become like, when you do a search for the best VPN, the best whatever, right? Typically, the results you get are not from the VPN vendors. They are review articles. The top 10 this, the top 10 that, 12 that, and so on and so forth. Well, those articles are written by affiliate marketers. So basically, the affiliate marketers, in a way, are the gatekeepers of the vendors. And the beauty is that anybody can be an affiliate marketer as long as you know your niche. Obviously, you want to be writing about things you know about. So if you know about tech, and you've been using VPNs for a long time, well, you can write articles about VPNs and review articles. And that's how I became fascinated by that, because I go, wow, Google has become kind of this single funnel for reviews of anything, right? And every time somebody reads your review and clicks on the link and makes a purchase, you get a commission. So it's really a nice way to get money on the side, so you don't have to quit your day job. In fact, don't. And over time, it takes a few years, but over time, you can develop an income stream that rivals your day job, and in some cases surpasses your day job, in which case you can quit if you don't like your job.
Yeah, I remember a few studies that shared from 50 to 70% of people hate their jobs. So why not if you wanna get extra income with affiliate marketing?
I mean, the thing is, in general, you do the job, you have the job you have, whatever. That's life. However you end up in life. The beauty of affiliate marketing is you can choose how you wish to make money, and it's 100% remote, 100% digital. You don't need to show up to any office. You need to answer to any boss. You're your own boss. Like, you have to have discipline, yes, but once you put all the foundation in place and it begins firing on all cylinders, it becomes pretty passive. So basically, you're sleeping, and somebody in Malaysia makes a purchase, you make money at 3 a.m, right? So that's the beauty of it. It takes time to get it right, but once you get it right, it's fantastic, because now you have this giant ally called Google feeding you business, really, commissions, right? Because nobody, like I said, nobody makes a purchasing decision without doing a prior search in Google for reviews and things like that.
Yeah, you highlighted about knowing some specific niche. For example, if I want to earn money with crypto, but I don't know anything about crypto. Is it good idea to start doing this, or it's better to find something where you have experience, knowledge, special skills, something unique, or we can take some money worth niches, to add money with that? Because you replied in the first my question that it's better to choose some niches that you understand. Can you tell more about experience?
Okay, so here's the thing. Most people reading reviews tend to be beginners in that area. So if somebody's looking for a CRM and there's 50 CRMs you can choose from, it's too overwhelming, then people do what's the best CRM, and then you read reviews from affiliates, right? Typically, people doing those kind of searches are people that, not always, but in a lot of cases, have never used the CRM before, right? If you have used the CRM, or people that have used CRMs before, you're going to ask them, right? You're going to ask them, say, are you happy with that, right? So, in theory, anybody can write about CRMs. The problem is that if you don't know anything about CRMs, right, you might be able to pass as if you know something about it, but over time it'll come back to bite you, right? Because you're going to say things that are not really true, and you don't even know that they're not true. So it's always better to know what you're talking about. So if you're going to be talking about crypto, you don't have to be a crypto genius. You don't have to be a developer. You don't have to be, a miner. You don't have to be somebody who's been doing crypto for 20 years. But you better read up a lot on crypto before you write your first article. I mean, you have to really do your research. Now, you can start from scratch, knowing nothing about crypto. Then you do research, and maybe after month 4, 5, 6, you know so much. So see, the thing is, you have to know more than the people that are reading the article. You don't have to know the most. You see what I'm saying? So as long as you've done a lot more research than the people doing the searches, you'll be fine. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, of course. I think, I remember a time when I tried to, not tried, I failed. I created a website with the purpose in mind to earn money, because I've seen a lot of opportunities on one specific niche, but I didn't have experience with that. I didn't have passion. I just chased money, and I wasted resources for over 3 years. Yeah, I wasted a lot of resources, money, time, and I couldn't get anything from that. I quit this project. I got it. No way. If I go ahead only with project that I like, or even passion, you might not have experience, but if you are passionate about that, you can earn experience. You can get it, during the way, along the way, so you can got it. And I remember when Neil Patel shared his story about poker. He decided to launch a website about poker because he found a lot of opportunities to earn money with that, but he couldn't get high ranking positions on Google because he didn't know poker. He didn't play poker. He doesn't like it. And when he asked opinions of professional players, they told, we don't understand your content. What's going on in your content?
Yeah.
So
that's a very good question. There are certain niches, like I said before, for things like tools and stuff like that, typically you will get a beginner audience, but for things like poker, you don't get beginners. So it depends on the niche. You may get people that are not like super expert, but when you get into specialized areas, here's the thing. You always have to know more than the people doing the searches, always. So if in poker you have people that know how to play the game pretty well and they want to get better, you need to know more than them. So you can't just fake it. You can't, right? But if if you're really passionate about it, but you're new at it, well, then use that passion to research the heck out of this and learn and learn and learn and learn and learn until you know more than the people doing the searches. So if you don't have the passion, you're going to give up, because it's like some niches are a lot more competitive than others. So when there's a lot of competition, it's really hard to rank in Google because you're competing with people that have been doing this for years. So that's a really hard lift, right? So my suggestion is to start with something like do your research to find something that you like, that you can focus on for a long time, that is not as competitive. And there are tools that allow you to find out what that is, right?
Yeah.
So like VPN, for instance, is super competitive. So who are you competing when you do VPNs? Well, you're competing with giants, CNET, Tom's Guide. Good luck displacing those guys from page one, right? But VPNs for, I don't know, VPNs for some niche, some VPNs for gamers. Well, maybe that's competitive, but VPN for journalists, I know, like you have to find a sub niche that is not as competitive, and then you'll be able to rank just for that, right? And over time, you begin to eat from the edges, like, right? You don't go for the middle, that's too busy. The main door is too crowded, so you have to find a side window, a basement window, and get in that way. So, but you have to not get bored. Like if you start doing something and you don't get traction because you chose a competitive field, and after 1 year you go, I give up. Well, that means that you've chosen two things: a field that is super competitive, hard to break in, and something you're not super passionate about, so eventually you give up. Maybe is that what happened to you, or what do you think?
I think I got that. I'm not passionate about that to go ahead. Even if I achieve results, I'm not sure this money can make me happy because, for example, when I share something that I like, for example, like playing tennis, I can play tennis without waiting for getting any money because I love it. I can play basketball, soccer, many other games because I love it. So for me, it's more important to create content in niches if I love it. So I can't burn of that because I see many content creators give up because they can't achieve quick results. I don't know how to achieve them. For me, it's impossible to achieve quick results because it takes time to learn through experience, to understand. Even great YouTubers like Mr. Beast, he spent an year and a half to get first 1,000 subscribers. Right now, he has 100 million subscribers. PewDiePie he filmed 100 videos to get first 285 subscribers. And today he has more than 110 million subscribers. And I found a few studies online. People, content creators, give up to record the second podcast because they can't get results from the first one, because nobody cares about them. Guys, I don't know how to do it. Even PewDiePie and Mr. Beast couldn't do it. They spend time to learn, to analyze, to find what actually works for them. So it's patience, and patience can work if you have passion. With passion, you don't care about results. You don't care about some value metrics. You can go ahead because you love it. And if you can love, you can find your audience. And, you replied in the first question about CRM, just share as an example. Can you tell how to choose the right CRM? For example, if I'm going to launch my affiliate marketing website, so how to choose? Because we have a plethora different CRM system, WordPress, Wix, Joomla, name them, tell how to choose the right one.
When I meant CRM, I didn't mean a content management.
I know.
But in any event, so here's actually let me address first what you said is very true, and the example I always go to is the Beatles. So the Beatles, like overnight sensation, like whenever they broke through, right, in the 60s, like overnight sensation, millions of people. But what nobody talks about is the previous 8 years of playing to 50 people in dingy nightclubs in Germany, right? 8 years. They played every night for like, I don't know how many hours, like 12 hours straight. I don't know, crazy amount, for no pay, virtually, horrible sleeping conditions, right? 8 years, and then they broke through. And nobody talks about that, right? Same for famous YouTubers. Nobody talks about how they got there. They know what happened after they got there. A lot of hard work and passion. Imagine if after year number 7, they gave up. There would be no Beatles. But
Yeah.
7 years of hard work. You better be passionate about music in this case to do that, right? So anyways, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, I remember example with Gary Vee, and he shared that he spent 7 years from 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. every single day without day off by spending time on Twitter. He
Yes.
replied to all tweets about wine to promote this brand. So 7 years without day off from 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. when most of us are sleeping or watching TV and then sleeping. So he couldn't get all this audience, massive audience, without hard work, without sacrificing his time. So yeah, it takes time. I completely agree with that.
Yeah, especially if you do it as a side hustle. You have a day job, so you have to do it in the evening. You don't have a choice. So you cannot watch TV, you cannot go out with friends for a while until you get traction, right? So it's a trade-off. Like you have to make a compromise with yourself.
Can you tell about finding the balance between creating content and trying to monetize content? Because I see when content creators try to monetize from the first day of creating content, they have no audience, have no traffic, anything. But they set up call to action, many other stuff, trying to sell. What do you think? Is it a good idea, or it's better to pay attention with creating audience and to find the right time to submit these links?
So I don't have experience, say, podcasting, but I have a lot of experience with Google. So textual searches. So here's the thing. Most bloggers that want to do a side hustle as an affiliate marketer, they try to monetize too early, right? Before they have an audience. But here's the thing, which obviously doesn't make sense. But here's the thing. When you work with Google and you want to get traffic and traction and monetize, you need to develop an audience. But in order to do that, most people write for humans. Obviously, humans read. But what most bloggers don't, is they don't write for both humans and the search engine 50-50. Because the search engine will decide, so a computer will decide if what you write is going to be seen or not a human. If you write something that ends up on page 7, nobody will ever know you exist, right? Or page 5.
Even the second page.
Or even the second page, right? But the reason you are on page 7 is because Google doesn't get you. So if you don't write in a way that's optimized for search engines, and there's a lot of layers to this, but there's a level of optimization. So you need to write for search engines and for humans in a perfect balance. If you do that, the search engine will read electronically scan your post, analyze it, and go, I get you. I know you don't belong in page 5. Maybe you belong in page 2, and over time, page 2 becomes page 1, right? But if you only write for humans and Google doesn't get you, right, you're going to be on page 7 forever, 10 years. It doesn't matter. The amount of writing that you do is not going to do it. The mistake is that a lot of people try to game Google and they only write for the search engine and forget about the human. So what happens is they rank fast for about a week or 2, and then Google realizes that what you wrote is garbage, and then you go back to page 7. So you need to find that sweet balance between machine and human. That's when you begin to rank, and then you have to put in the time. You have to put in the time because Google is like a slow freight train. It's super heavy at the beginning, impossible to move. But once you get it moving slowly over time, it's impossible to stop, right? So that's what you want to do. Is you can't speed up Google. It doesn't happen. They won't let you do it.
Yeah, they have system. Google has system algorithms that work well because Google can take 92% of all search traffic globally, so it's a lot. And so Google knows their job. Okay, let's talk about finding ideas. For example, let's imagine I want to promote weight loss supplements. I have some good affiliate links. I don't know, like Shakeology, many other stuff. By the way, I dislike it. I like diets. I like sporting. It's not my direction. But people are looking for simple solutions to buy some shakes, pills, and think that this stuff can I don't know, can help them to lose weight. Let's imagine I create a blog about weight loss supplements. Can you
Yes.
tell how to find ideas, topics for my blog? And for example, I think weight loss is overwhelmed and overpriced. Many other websites have it. But from your experience, how to find these ideas that will provide results?
So what you do is, so as they say, weight loss supplements, it's super crowded because weight loss is huge. Weight loss is huge as a business. So all the big names are in there. So it's going to be hard competing with them in a general way. So what you begin to do is you begin to look for sub niches. It's like, okay, supplements for something specific, not just supplements. That's impossible to rank for as a newbie. So you begin to look for supplements for something very specific. It depends on what your area of knowledge is. So it could be supplements for men with this and that condition, say, very specific, right? And then there are tools that will tell you how many people are searching for those keywords, right? Supplements for people with this ailment, right? So you go into these tools and you don't look for supplements because you're going to get, if you're looking for weight loss supplements, you're going to get millions and millions of searches, but impossible to rank for. But if you look supplements for men with this ailment, you're not going to find million, but you may find that maybe 20,000 people search for that every month, but it's easy to rank for. There's tools that give you difficulty. So there's a keyword difficulty score that many tools will show you. So if you have a low difficulty score, that means that not a lot of people are writing about it. That's how you do it. Right? But you really need to know what you're talking about, because when those men do those searches, they expect you to know what they feel like. They expect you to know what they need, right? So if you're 25 and writing for an audience of 65s, that's a bit of a problem. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. So you begin by going sub niche, and keep going down the rabbit hole until you find keywords that have decent volume. That's how you make the money, but low difficulty, right? So you begin to attack from the flanks. You never go for the middle, you're going to get massacred. You go for the flanks and you take little, you win little battles. You win, and a whole bunch of them put together at the end of the day can create a nice paycheck.
Yeah, got it. Valuable. Okay, let's talk about creating content even more. Let's take the topic about learning your customers or users who will consume your content. Because, for example, I think PhD with the best experience, rewards, can't create awesome content for kids who play online games. If these people don't play online games, it's hard because they speak different languages. Can you tell about learning your users who will consume your content? For example, I can create content for women because I don't know about their problems. Probably I know sometimes when my wife can make me headache, but that's okay. I can make headache to her, but I can't create awesome content for women. Can you tell about how to learn audience before creating content?
Yeah. So, okay, there's two things. First of all, there's many ways to find out about audiences. If you want to say women of a certain age who want to lose weight, well, there's a lot of Facebook groups and forums where a lot of people share their souls. You don't have their names, but they're anonymized. But there's forums that tell you exactly the struggles that people are having. So and they're open. A lot of them are open. Some are private, but a lot of them are open. You can read and read and read. Don't participate. Just read, and you can learn a lot about an audience that way. A lot, right? That's one way, and that's how the pros do it. Typically, they create this thing called the customer avatar. Have you heard of that term before?
No. Can you share about that?
That's a picture. So basically, you create an idealized customer by searching the forums and the groups and reading everything.
Okay.
When people share, you read everything, and you create a single avatar, call it Susan, and you describe. You write it kind of like a journal by copying and pasting all this information into one document, and then you create a composite of all those people that have that problem, because you want to provide the solution, and make them all be one person. And then whenever you write content, you address the content to this individual. So that's the way the pros do it. If you're not a pro, say if you're a man and you're writing for women and you don't do this, then it's not going to happen, because you know nothing about your audience, right? Yeah. And if you're not a pro with the resources to do this kind of research, again, my advice is choose things that when those areas where you are a customer, stuff that you know from your own experience. If you used CRMs before, then you know a lot about them. So start with that. If you're a newbie, if you play tennis and you've been playing tennis for years and years and years, then write about that, right? You need to find the audience, yes, but the audience would be people like you, or people like you 5 years ago. Maybe that's even better, right?
Yeah.
So that's what you want to start with, because when the going gets tough, because Google, like I said, is a slow-moving freight train, you need to have that juice, that passion, like that will keep you going, and you're not going to get bored because you love tennis. So how to do a better swing, how to do a better backswing. Well, you've been doing it for years. People doing the searches are newbies. So you just need to know more than them. You don't need to be a genius, a world-class champion. You need to know more than your audience, but you need to know. You can't fake knowledge, right? That's
Got it. Let's talk about someone who is not good with writing. For example, I have many companies, clients who have no experience with writing, and they tell me, I need to develop, innovate my products. I need to compete with my competitors. So my their main goal, to compete. I usually search for writers online, outsource them. Can you tell from your experience how to find them? For example, if I go to Upwork or many other websites like iWriter, many platforms about that, and I found that many writers just rewrite existing content. They don't provide value. Sometimes they don't understand the topic. Can you tell from your experience how to find responsible writers who have experience, who write about only one topic or related topics, and can provide some value? Because it's hard to win ranking positions without sharing value and something new and unique.
Yes. So if you're going to be hiring writers, you have to have a bit of a budget, because you can find writers on Fiverr for really little money, but they're just not, what they're going to do is they're going to get an AI writer and crank out some text that has no value and then send you that. So if you're going to be hiring writers, you have to have a budget, because the good ones are not going to work for cheap, right? Upwork is a great place. There's many similar sites that have quality writers. And what you do is you assign them a test. You say, okay, send me. You may need to pay me a little bit for that. Say, well, you send them the topic, you send them the structure, you send them the keywords you want. So you send them a brief, and you say, okay, go at it, and then do that with 5 or 6. And then you choose the best, and that's typically how you can find the really good writers. And once you find a good writer, you're set, because they want the work, and they're good, and they know how to follow your instructions. But don't cheapen out on writers, because they're gonna like I said, they're gonna use AI tools, but really they don't know what they're talking about, and the quality is gonna be bad.
Yeah, love it. So valuable. I think, the last thing what you can do to search for the best price. And the first thing what you can do to search for the best experience. When you find writers with awesome experience that can prove it, with their articles that publish online, that have a lot of shares, organic traffic. Yeah, you can cooperate with such writers. And you mentioned about guidelines, that you can show them guidelines. Can you tell about practical tips how to create this guideline? Because it's not only to share keywords. Please write an article by considering these keywords. I'm interested more about creating this guideline that copywriters can understand, can structure to write the intro, the main part, subheadings, what kind of text, the length of this content. Just more about that. If you have some checklist, it will be great.
Yeah, so I'll give you obviously the example for affiliate marketing, which is my specialty. So typically when you do an article, you want to commission an article, the best 15 whatever, right? So basically Google, the way Google likes it is they want you to have a heading, like what's called an H1, which is the title of the post, and subheadings H2, right? Will give you some tips. Okay, what is the best CRM? How to choose the best CRM? And then finally, H3 or heading 3 are all the 15 brands: brand 1, brand 2, brand 3. So there's a typical structure that Google expects you to have, right? So you need to provide them that in the brief, right? You have to say, okay, the title needs to be this. Then I need 3 or 4 points that expand on the title. And then I need the list. The list is very cookie cutter. You say, okay, item 1, title is a heading 3, H3. That's the name of the brand. Then you need the image, like a screenshot of their website. Then you need a list of features. Then you need a list of kind of pros and cons. So you show them basically all the elements that they need to do for each list item, right? And then the pricing, say, at the end. And then copy and paste. You do the same thing for item 2, item 3, item 4. So what they have to do, right? You can do 2 things. You can either do the research and send them the 15 items, so 15 CRMs. You send them the brands and the links to the pages, and they have to do the rest. They have to go into each page, find the features, and then they have to write original text. They can't just copy and paste what's on their websites. They have to read it, analyze it, and in their own words, come up with a list of features, pros and cons. Well, you can go to places that Trustpilot, and those things that give you reviews and stuff like that, and see what people are saying about that product, and then capture pros and cons from researching a number of these places, right? Again, without copying and pasting, and you come up with a list, a general list drawn from all of that shows you pros and cons, and so on and so forth. Pricing is the easiest, right? You go to the pricing page and then make a summary. So that's a brief. And then you have to go on and fill it in with words. But you give them the keyword, obviously. You give them the title, and you give them the structure. And then they go on and do it. So again, that's different than when you do an article that is an informational article. But again, my focus is affiliate marketing. So it's mainly review articles.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. And I have another question, but I see a comment from Freddy Garcia about sub-niche. We touched a little bit about sub-niches. Can you tell more about that? I remember when you replied to the question about finding sub-niches topics, when you, in your keyword research, for example, when you're looking for some specific niches, but you need to find sub-niches. Can you clarify more about that? Because Freddy doesn't understand.
Yeah. So there's a cheap way to do it and an expensive way to do it. So the cheap way is to go into Google and you type supplements or weight loss supplements. That's the really expensive one, right? But Google is going to show you suggested it want to show you the things that other people are searching around that, right? And you may find your sub niche by doing that. But Google will only show you a small list, like 5 or 6. When you start typing and Google has a kind of pull down menu that shows you other things people are typing that are related. So you can do it that way. The more expensive way is to choose a tool, a keyword tool, say like Ahrefs, but there's many others where you can go in and they'll show you thousands of those entries. So you type weight loss supplements, show me related words. And they'll literally show you, sometimes it's hundreds, sometimes it's millions. It depends on the word. And then what you do is you begin to filter down. You go, okay, first of all, I don't want to write anything that's super competitive. So you can add filters that add the competition level. Say competition is from 0 to 100. Well, choose a filter from 0 to 40. So you get rid of the stuff that is impossible to compete. And then your list goes from 2 million to 200,000, right? And then you go, okay, now I want to remove anything that has a volume less than 1,000 searches a month. And that gets rid of a whole bunch of other things that you don't care about. And now your list becomes 2,000 items. And now that's more manageable. 2,000 items, you can scan that in about half an hour. And then you start reading, and that list is going to show you the sub-niches, because it's going to show you all the searches that have the words weight loss supplements and something else. Weight loss supplements for people with whatever. And that's how you find the sub-niches. You let the tools tell you what people are searching that have low competition score and relatively high search volume.
Yeah, love it, love it.
You have to use tools. You can't guess it. You really can take a guess.
Okay, let's talk about promotion. For example, if I create the best content in the world with valuable insights, but I see many content creators spend 80% of their time to promote. For example, Brian Dean, he can write one piece of content a month, but he spends a lot of efforts to promote this content. I think if you have a huge audience, loyal audience, like CNN, BBC, I don't know, big websites, they don't need to promote because their audience can promote, share content, to get links from other bloggers. But if you're a small website, affiliate website, and you're going to rank high on Google and you have no authority, can you tell how to choose the right link building strategy or PR campaign or any other stuff, how to promote affiliate website?
That's an excellent question. Okay, so I'm not going to focus on social media here because I'm assuming that if you're new, you don't have any audience. So focus on just search and just Google. So if you only write and that's all you do, right? And you're a good writer and you find the perfect balance between Google, the machine, and the audience and the humans. That's fine. But Google, that's a very important ranking factor for Google. But there's another super important ranking factor, which is links. So, or more specifically, backlinks. Okay. So Google counts backlinks. So people linking to you from reputable websites as a vote of confidence. Okay. But they have to be from reputable websites, not from link farms, not from anything that is trying to game Google. That if they catch you, they're going to shut you down. So you want reputable websites to link to you. The problem is how you're going to get a reputable website than say some website that is super known for supplements, right? How are you going to get them to link to you? They're not, because you're new, right? So what you have to do is you have to begin pitching basically your services as a writer. You can say, hey, I want to write a guest post for you for free. So you don't have to pay a couple of $100, like you do it for free in exchange for a link to my website, right? But that's not enough because you still are not known, right? So you have to, but what you have to do is you can say, I write whatever, 10 guest posts a month, 10 to 12 guest posts a month, even if you're kind of making it up at the beginning, right? And I will in high domain rating, high authority websites, right? If you let me write a guest post for you, I'll get a link to your site from another site that has a high domain rating. And that's how you begin. Basically, you see what I'm saying? But at the end of that exchange, you end up with a link to your website. So that's one way to shortcut. And you have to do this for like a year, at least a year or two, right? So at the beginning, you do it that way. Eventually, when you start getting links and links and links through guest posting, your website begins to lift off the ground, and now you become more and more authoritative. And now people are going to start reaching out to you, saying, "Hey, do you want to, I'd love to link to yours, a link from your site to mine," and so on. So that's the way to do it the hard way, meaning that you have no presence. If you have a social media presence, it's easier. You just begin posting about it. And there's mechanisms to do that, right? But I'm assuming you have you're a total newbie. So guest posting is probably the most effective way to break in. For backlinks.
Okay, got it. Marcel, I have the last question. Let's imagine you have no experience, skills, anything. You started from scratch. Yes. How to learn more about affiliate marketing?
Okay, so the beauty about affiliate marketing is that there's a few people that are very good at it because they did like the Beatles. They did the 8 years previous, right? The beauty about affiliate marketing is if you really stick it out and you do all the right things, then what happens is eventually you begin to get traffic like the slow moving train. Once you get it to go to speed, it tends to stay at that speed. So you begin to make money very passively, maybe in year 3, 4, 5. And a lot of these guys and gals, they're, super generous. They will share their knowledge, just knowledge bombs everywhere. So they will have there's a lot of YouTube channels that are awesome for affiliate marketers, and they'll tell you all the tricks because they can. They've already made their money. They're not going to make any less money tomorrow because they tell you this. And a lot of them, there's just so much content out there. So much content. They'll tell you what are the best tools to use when you start from scratch. What are the tricks? How'd you get to the first $5,000 a month? How'd you get to the first $10,000 a month? So they show you the hard part. That's the hardest thing, is to make your first buck, your first dollar. That's the hardest thing. And then once you find your formula, it's rinse and repeat. So I would say for me, YouTube was the best, because some of these people will go into an hour or 2 videos with live with what you can see their computer, you can see exactly what they're doing. If you're looking for somebody, for instance, a couple of guys, Miles Beckler, Beckler is one of them. Adam Enfroy, ENFROY.com. There's a couple of examples that the people that made it, and they're super legit, and they're just an open book.
Nice.
Courses, paid courses, but if you just go to the YouTube channel, pretty much most of the content in the courses is spelled out over 100 and 200 videos. You just have to take your time, obviously.
And we see the comment about, do you know any specific YouTube channel?
Yeah, so basically, so go to YouTube and search for Adam, Adam, last name ENFROY, Adam Enfroy. That's one of them. He started from scratch not that long ago, maybe 2019. And now he's like over 100,000 a month in affiliate.
Nice.
In 3 years and a bit. Now he had a really good mentor, but he spills the beans. He shares everything. So nice. That's a good place to start.
Awesome. Marcelo, it's a big pleasure to get on my show, to learn from you. You share a lot of valuable insights. Tell our audience how they can reach out to you, learn more about you, follow you.
Thank you.
Tell our audience how they can reach out to you, follow you.
So the best way to reach out to me is just to go to my website, and it's called it's Best Tech. So BESTTECH, then number 2, and Earn Online. BestTech2EarnOnline.com, and there's a consulting page. It's got my contact form, and they can reach out to me. My email is there.
Okay, guys, you can find this link in the description below. Listen us on Apple, Google, Spotify. Thanks again, Marcelo, for your time. A big pleasure. A lot of valuable insights. Welcome back anytime, to share more value because my audience loves learning something new. And thanks, guys, for listening and watching us.